Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा। इसको थोड़ा ऊपर कर सकते हो? I am not able to see the screen. Can you hear? It's okay. So we will be reading from Canto 1, Chapter 7, text number 26. So you can repeat after me. किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
सर्वतो मुखम् आयाति
सर्वतो मुखम् आयाति
तेज परमदारुणम्
तेज परमदारुणम्
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
सर्वतो मुखम् आयाति
सर्वतो मुखम् आयाति
तेजः परमदारुणम्
तेजः परमदारुणम्
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
सर्वतो मुखम् आयाति
सर्वतो मुखम् आयाति
तेजः परमदारुणम्
तेजः परमदारुणम्
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
सर्वतो मुखमायाति
सर्वतो मुखमायाति
तेजः परम दारुणम्
तेजः परमदारुणम्
किमिदं स्वित्
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
सर्वतोमुखमायाति
सर्वतोमुखमायाति
तेज परमदारुणम्
तेज परमदारुणम् किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
सर्वतोमुखम् आयाति
सर्वतोमुखमायाति
तेजः परमदारुणम्
तेजः परमदारुणम्. Anybody wants to recite online? Yes, Mataji. Priti Dada Mataji.
Am I audible, Prabhu? Kim idam
Yes,
svitkito veti
किमिदं स्वित्कुतो वेति
deva deva na vedmyaham
देवदेव न वेद्यहम्
sarvato mukhamayati
सर्वतोमुखमायाति
tejah paramadarunam.
तेजः परमदारुणम्. Thank you. To word. Kim, what is? Idam, this. Swit, does it? Does it come? Kutah, where from? Va iti, be either. Deva deva, O Lord of Lords. Na, not. Vedmi, do I know. Aham, I. Sarvatah, all around. Mukham, directions. Ayati, coming from. Tejaha, effulgence. Parama, very much. Darunam, dangerous. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. O Lord of Lords, how is it that this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand it. Purport. Anything that is presented before the personality of Godhead should be so done after due presentation of respectful prayers. That is the standard procedure. And Sri Arjun, although an intimate friend of the Lord, is observing this method for general information. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurdase Namah Vancha Kalpataruvascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna, thank you all for joining today on this auspicious day of Ekadashi in this morning Bhagavatam class. So before speaking anything, I would like to admit that I am least qualified to sit here and speak anything about this subject matter. It is just because of the mercy of our Siksha Guru, His Grace Madan Sundar Prabhuji, that he's instructing us, giving us this instruction to come learn and also spread this message of Srimad Bhagavatam with everyone. And as I just request everyone that if I do some mistake, please feel free to give me correction and just pray that I can speak in the line of parampara and it can give some transformation in your heart. So with this, we will start. So just to set the context where we are in our Bhagavatam study. So in this chapter, primarily Suta Goswami has started the describing about Parikshit Maharaj. He wants to start instructing or describing about what was the life of Parikshit Maharaj, etc. And for that he started giving a background of what all happened. So he started from when the battle of Kurukshetra got over, right? So he mentioned that at that time most of the Pandavas as well as the Kauravas, lot of people died, right? Almost everybody died there. And the son of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan, was lying injured. His thighs were broken. And the son of Drona, Ashwathama, is very much distressed, or he is in the revengeful mood. Primarily because of two reasons. One is because his master Duryodhan is also lying down, and he thinks that he is unlawfully or has been defeated unlawfully, right, against the rules. And second, he has also that revengeful attitude about his father being killed on the battlefield unlawfully, right? So he has both of these things in his mind. And now he is in a complete revengeful mood, and as we have discussed earlier, in the dead of the night he goes into the Pandava camp and butchers the sons of Pandav. He kills a lot of people, Drishtadyumna, Satyaki, lot of Maharathis, and then he presents those heads of the sons of Pandava to Duryodhan, and Duryodhan, after piercing his finger, the skulls break, and he understands that these are not Pandavas, it's a son of Pandavas, and he is also displeased with Ashwathama. Now after that, what happens is Pandavas, Draupadi, everybody realizes that what has happened in their camp, and Draupadi is very, very she's crying, she's with tears. And Arjun, to pacify her, says that I will capture Ashwathama and bring in front of you, and then you can stand on his head and have a blood bath, etc. So that is the Kshatriya style. So now this is when Arjun and Lord Krishna gets onto the chariot and is going towards Ashwathama, right? Now Ashwathama, after seeing Lord Krishna and Arjun on the chariot, from far he starts also running. and he tries to run, but then he realizes his horses are also tired now and there is no other way. So in that situation, because of imminent danger to his life, he then releases the Brahmastra, right? And when he releases the Brahmastra, it is said in these verses that even when he did not know how to retract it, he just released, not caring about what will be the impact or effect of it. He just releases it. And Arjun, when he sees this glaring effulgence, the fire and the heat coming towards him, he prays to the Lord, right? He glorifies the Lord, and then this verse comes where he is asking certain questions. So this Brahmastra, if we see, this Brahmastra is not, Prabhupada translates it into nuclear weapon, right? But Prabhupada also mentioned that the Brahmastra is made of mantra, right? So it is not like the gross elements that we know today that is made of. Brahmastra was made of subtle, or was made of mantra. And that kind of science, that subtle science is not there today. It's lost. Or maybe I can say we are not intelligent enough to understand that kind of science in this Kali Yuga. Right? So similarly, we know that we understand earth, water, air, fire much better, but the more it gets subtler, for example, understanding of the soul, right? There is no understanding of the soul today, right? The gross body is, there is knowledge about gross body, but there is no knowledge about the subtle body. So if you see, whatever cannot be seen is what is not understood. That mind cannot be seen, is not understood. Intelligence cannot be seen, intelligence cannot be understood, right? So till today, we know there is no science that explains the process of how the soul is carried by the subtle body into the womb of another mother, right? So the point is, today's world, as soon as the body is burnt, into ashes, since the understanding is there is no soul, and hence there is no God, and this leads to godless civilization. So Srila Prabhupada, I was hearing a lecture on the same verse. Srila Prabhupada was quoting Charvaka Muni. Anybody knows Charvaka Muni? So he has quoted this many times in different places. So he is one of the very famous atheists long ago. So he quotes this, Prabhupada quotes his verse, Charvaka Muni's verse. He says that Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya kutah punar agamanod bhavet dhranam kritva gritam pivet yavat jivet sukham jivet. Yavat jivet sukham jivet. Matlab, in essence, what he says is live merrily, beg, borrow, steal if you don't have money, but eventually just be happy somehow or the other in this world. So this is the atheistic philosophy. Whereas what is the first teaching of Bhagavad Gita? First teaching of Bhagavad Gita, what is it? We are not the body but the soul, right? We are not the body but the soul. And next is what? For the soul, na hanyate hanyamane sharir. It cannot be killed under any circumstances, right? So people consider only gross elements all in all, right, in this world. Most of the religions, it is because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we understand a little bit about soul, a little bit about these subtle elements like the mind, intelligence, false ego. But there was, if you see, there was no formal education at least given to us, right? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 7.4, right? We know, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha Ahankar Itiyam Me Bhinna Prakriti Rashtadam. So, but the point is this, Bhumi Apo Nalo Vayu, earth, water, air, fire, till that point probably we will study. And because these are gross elements, we get to study about it. But as soon as it gets to Kham, I don't know, I mean, how many of you, at least I can say, I had never studied ether before reading Prabhupada book. I never knew only that there is something called as ether, to be honest. I don't know, maybe in some other engineering, at least in mechanical engineering, there was no study of ether. Maybe some other engineering may be having some study of ether, right? But the point is, as finer it starts getting, so out of the five elements, ether is considered to be the most finest, right? And then finer than that is what? The mind. Finer than that is what? The intelligence. And finer than that is what? The false ego. And the finest of all is what? The soul. So when you see what we have in terms of our formal education is earth, water, air, fire. That is what we study. And whatever there is more subtler, these subtle energies are never discussed or never, there is no education, because the problem is nobody knows about it and nobody wants to experiment about it also. Right? So Srila Prabhupada in his lecture explained very nicely. He explained very nicely about how everyone is illusioned with these gross elements. So he gave the example of a doll. So if you take earth, mix it with water, right, and then apply heat or fire, you can make a doll with the air. So you dry it and you make a doll. You can paint it and it will become a beautiful doll or a beautiful girl doll. But is it real? It is not. Similarly, this material world is made up of earth, water, air, fire and ether. But that elements, when get together without the subtle elements, it has no value, like the doll, right? So he further explains about the example or the quote that is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1. I think a lot of people know about that. The words over there uses Tejovari Mridam Vinimaya, right? So taking this example of earth, water, air, fire, Srila Prabhupada explains that it is just like very, very beautiful girl, but it is not a fact. So it is an illusion. So like this Tejo Vari Bridam Vinamaya we say, right? Like you think that there is what is it? There is water on like a desert. You will see there is water. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. So this is also these gross elements, all in all, right, are into illusion. So yeah, that is what Srila Prabhupada was explaining, that this world, material world, is nothing but an imitation of the spiritual world by intermixture of earth, water, air and fire, nothing else. So at the time of death, coming back to that point of subtle elements, we said that the soul is carried by the subtle body, right, to the womb of the mother through the semen of the father, right? So Prabhupada also explains. So this is the science Prabhupada has given. Otherwise, we were not knowing it. This is never available to us, that how exactly a body, a soul gets a different body, right? And Prabhupada also explained that how exactly that soul through the subtle body is also carried, right? He gives the example of like the fragrance of a flower is carried by air. Similarly, this soul encompassed by the subtle body is carried through to a different womb. And he has also explained that how it is decided what body, or who decides what body that soul gets, the next body, right? This karmana deva netrena jantur deho papatte. Like like the magistrate in this world we have, right, who decides what punishment you should get. Similarly, there is a magistrate of this universal affair, Yamraj, right, who is deciding what kind of body that soul would get. As such, if you speak, this whoever has this body in this material world is already undergoing punishment, right? So if you have come into this material world, that means you are already undergoing punishment. Otherwise, you would have not come into this material world at all. It is so. Think about all these sinful activities or pious activities or whatever you do. Nothing, but it is all imagination. It is like, if I tell you, if I ask you, do you want gold? Do you want silver? Or do you want iron? Right? What will you say? Gold. But you should first ask, what of gold? What of iron? But if I add a gold chain, not that gale ka chain, gold shackles, silver shackles which will tie you, or iron shackles which will tie you, what will you prefer? So, so nothing, right? You will say, I don't want anything to bind me. So gold or silver or iron doesn't matter if when it is tying you, if it is shackling with the chains, right? So pious activities and impious activities is just going to give you difference between gold chain, silver chain, and iron chain. It is going to bound you to this material world, right? But how do you get out of these chains, of these shackles? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Bhaja. That is the way. Right? And Krishna can give you immediate relief, immediate liberation within seconds. And that is why uh, Arjun is addressing in this verse to Krishna as Deva Deva, right? Lord of the Lord, Lord of even the Lords. So, demigod worship, if you see, uh, may give you very quick results, right? It may give you material perfection. It may give you even mystic siddhis, siddhi praptis. Prabhupada uses that word, right? Prabhupada was giving an example that there are yogis who can just stand in the sun, catch the rays of the sun, and transfer themselves to the sun planet. Similarly, they can catch the moon rays and transfer them to the moon planet. So that kind of siddhis are there, right? But eventually, what will happen? What will happen? A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Once their pious activity is over, they will again fall down. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that all places, right from the topmost planet, Brahmalok, to the lowest planet, it's a place of misery, right? So therefore, Arjuna is taking the shelter of Krishna and inquiring from him. Sarvadharma Parityaja. So there are so many things in this world we will not be able to understand, right? But if we take Krishna's instruction, we can understand everything. Srila Prabhupada in this lecture also quotes the Mukunda Upanishad 1.3. It says, Yasmin Vignate Sarvam Idam Vignatam Bhavati. Which means that if one simply understands the original cause, Krishna, the cause of all causes, then naturally everything else is understood, although it may be presented in different varieties. So, but before inquiring to Lord, Arjun, in the last four verses, what he is doing? He is glorifying and praying to the Lord. Hmm? And that is the Vedic injunction, or that is the Vedic etiquette, I would say, or the Vedic culture. So if we read the purport of in the first line, Prabhupada, what he says is, anything that is presented before the personality of Godhead should be so done after due presentation of respectful prayers. Right? So here Arjuna is putting his questions in front of the Lord. Right? But before that, he is glorifying and praying to the Lord. With beautiful, we heard this sloks, right? Krishna Krishna Mahabaho, those four verses before this verse. In such times, in difficult times, before presenting anything or before asking questions to the Lord, or asking for help, there has been glorification of the Lord. Gajendra, correct. That is one. Gajendra Moksha prayers. Yes. Any other? So Gajendra, before asking for protection, he prayed and glorified the Lord. Anything else?
Vrindavan residents, the time of fire.
Correct. At the time of forest fire, Vrindavan residents prayed to the Lord. Yes, very good. Any other? We can say Kunti's example, Kunti's prayers also. Before presenting her plea for the Lord to stay back, she also spoke beautiful prayers. Then any other? Even
Hare
Prahlad
Krishna
Maharaj,
Prabhuji.
before asking
Yeah,
the Lord to
even
thank
Hare
God.
Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji, even Arjuna, while before actually while he's going to matlab attack with Brahmastra, he was to attack Ashwathama. That time also he was praying Lord Krishna, and then only matlab he praised the Lord, and then only he, with his permission, he was actually firing the Brahmastra.
yes, Mataji. This is that exact place where we are currently, where Arjuna prayed to Lord Krishna, and only then Krishna gives him the instruction of what to do, right? This is, yes, Mataji, that's correct.
Example, Sonakadi Rishi glorifying Sri Krishna before us.
Correct. Shaunakadi Rishi, correct. Yeah. But my was that in times of in distress intensity. But yeah, this is also way. So the point, you're right. Anything that is presented before the personality of Godhead, right? That is more. So Prabhupada says, whenever we are presenting anything to the Lord, before that there is an etiquette that we have to follow, that we glorify and pray to the Lord, right? So any examples, personal examples that we have on a day-to-day basis, that before presenting anything to the Lord, we glorify, we pray to the Lord. Correct, exactly. Before speaking Bhagavatam, we are always praying. What else?
Prasadam Prabhuji.
Before offering bhoga, we are always praying, right? We are praying to the spiritual master. Of course, prayers will happen, in an ascending manner. And so you pray to the spiritual master, then you pray to the uh, parampara, etc. Right? What else? Before taking prasadam. Yes. So that is where we pray. What else? Before doing arati, we are also praying. When we are presenting so many, different, yes. So we are praying to the Lord. Before doing abhishek, for example, of the Lord, there are prayers to the Lord that has to be put. So Prabhupada and our acharyas have given us all the processes in such a way which follows the etiquette, that always present anything that is presented to the Lord has to be preceded by prayers and glorification of the Lord. Right? Now, coming back to Arjuna's question. So, what did he ask in this verse? He said, Kim midam svit kuto veti. That means, what is this? And, where is it coming from? Deva Deva na vedyaham. So, he's saying, Deva Deva na vedyaham. I don't know. I don't know. Meaning, I don't know what to do. And then Sarvato Mukham Ayati, it is spreading in all directions, and it is so dangerous, Teja Paramadaruna. So all these four, basically these 3 or 4 questions he asked, that what is this? Where is it coming from? How is it spreading in all directions? And I do not understand. Or basically I do not understand means I do not understand what to do. And in the later verses, if you see, Lord Krishna will also give answers to each of these questions within asked in this verse. So Lord Krishna will answer that, this is Brahmastra, this is shot by the son of Drona, Ashwathama. And then he says what you should do. He reminds Arjuna that you are Shastrajna, you are the knower of the weapons, and you can also fire a Brahmastra and retract. You have that knowledge to retract both of them. So he answers all these questions one by one. But what he does is he also answers certain things which is not asked by Arjuna. So he also answers the why part. Why Ashwathama shot that? He also answers that because he was fearful of his imminent death. And then by answering these questions, what he is doing is he's also giving the right motivation and strength to act by making Arjuna remember and realize that he is a knower of all weapons. He is Shastra Gnya. He is the knower of the weapon. So he's giving also motivation. So there are certain lessons from this verse, how Arjuna acted in this. or how one should act. So there are certain lessons that we can understand. So the first one is that whenever there is a difficult situation, we should take shelter of Krishna, like Arjuna did. Arjuna felt the heat. He couldn't understand why so dangerous heat and light are coming towards him. Similarly, in our life, whenever there is difficult situation, we should take shelter of Krishna or his representatives. Unlike Ashwatthama, we heard in the beginning. What did Ashwatthama take a shelter of? He took the shelter of Brahmastra. Hmm? Not caring about what effect or impact it will have on the world, just to save his life. But Arjuna, what he did when he saw the Brahmastra coming, he took the shelter of Lord Krishna. So, okay. So, if we do such a thing, if we take shelter of the Lord in difficult situations, like Arjuna, like we saw how Lord Krishna reciprocated here, not only we will get the answers to the questions we have asked, but we'll also get the answers to those questions which are lingering in our mind, right? Like the why part that Arjuna had not asked actually, but Krishna gave the answer already, that why he has already shot. Now, and also we'll get the solution as well as the necessary strength and motivation. So any example from Shastras where such a situation is there, and Lord Krishna or any representative of Lord Krishna has given that motivation and necessary strength when people were in difficult or dangerous situations. Any? Narad, Vyasdev, correct? When Vyasdev was feeling despondent, Narad Muni came and motivated him. Yes.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
In,
Yes.
in Ramayan also, Jamwan gave strength to Hanumanji to, you can do
Very
it.
nice. Yes, so two examples. One is in the Kurukshetra battlefield when Arjuna was feeling remorse or despondent. Krishna gave him the required motivation, and again now he is giving. And Jamvan giving motivation to Hanuman and reminding him about his strengths. Right. So that is another one. Anything else that we can recollect? Dhruv Maharaj to Suniti or Suniti to Dhruv Maharaj. Suniti to Dhruv Maharaj, yes, when Dhruv Maharaj was very, very, crying and distressed, Suniti gave him a direction what he should do. Yes, correct.
At one point,
Brahmaji, Swayambhuva Manu, that counts. Correct. So that is also correct. Dhruva Maharaj, when he was in that revengeful mood of killing all the yakshas because of the death of his brother, Swayambhuva Manu had to come and give him the motivation of to stop. One more example, Gautam Prabhu rightly said, Vratrasur motivated Indra to fight. Right? So many examples are there in Shastras where there were questions raised and the answers also motivated and gave strength to move forward. So if you see, Krishna could have easily destroyed the Brahmastra, just by, glancing towards the Brahmastra, he could have destroyed, right? But he did not do that. What he did was he reminded Arjun that you are Shastragnya, you are the knower of the knowledge, you have the ability to retract that and you do that job, right? So even if you see Arjun's point of view, he did not ask the Lord, save me. This is something dangerous that is coming. Please save me. He did not say. What did he say? What did he ask? He asked, what should I do? Right. So it is not that, so what we can learn from this particular instance is that we should not escape from our duties. In the name of depending on fully on Krishna and thinking Krishna will take care of everything, let's not do anything. So Arjun, he did not say that, Lord, I cannot do anything, protect me. What did he say? What should I do? And that's why Lord gave him the right motivation and direction and gave him the instruction. Right? So what we can do is we can pray to Krishna to give us sufficient strength and intelligence and courage to perform our duties. Right? So that is the second learning. Third learning from this incident, that we should not step back and run away when danger comes. That is what Arjuna did not step back. Rather, we should take shelter of Krishna and move forward, similar to the earlier one, with courage. But important point is, how do we move forward? Under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. That's the third. Fourth learning from this incident is what? See, Arjuna was Sarvashreshta Dhanodhar at that time. He was the best of the archers. But he did not hesitate to take a humble position and take shelter of Krishna. Right? What we also do, we keep fighting, our own battle. We prove that we are strong and we can manage it. But we don't take shelter of our gurus, our superiors, our seniors. But from this example, we can see that even when Arjuna was the best one can be during that time in terms of fighting, in the fighters, right? But he immediately took shelter of superior. Right? He took a humble position. He did not say that let me try. I will try to by myself try to fight this whatever heat is coming. Now, so coming back to the earlier point, Arjuna in this dangerous situation, before asking questions or presenting his questions to the Lord, he followed the Vedic etiquette or Vedic culture of glorifying and praying to the Lord. How did he remember this? It was a difficult situation, right? It was a dangerous situation. So, how one is able to remember to follow the etiquette? First of all, remembering to pray and glorify the Lord in the dangerous situation, right? And then also to follow this etiquette. Yeah, so Krishna, first of all, we have to understand Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha, right? So Krishna is giving the remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge. Now that is now the question that I was coming to. Like, the question is, how will Krishna give us that remembrance and knowledge by which we will be able to remember him during the time of difficulty or danger, and also give that remembrance with which we can follow the etiquette before presenting anything to the Lord. Priti Purvakam. Correct. Yes, that is also correct. Anything else? Simple.
Yeah, Prabhuji many times mentioned that when there is a difficult situation, so before that, when we are in normal conditions, so we should prepare for that, so that
Correct.
we can handle that situation.
Vitosna. So the simple answer, you are both right, but the simple answer is by understanding our sincerity. If Krishna sitting as Paramatma in our heart understands our sincerity, then accordingly he will give us the remembrance. Very simple. See, we all know that remembrance is required and remembrance is going to be given by Krishna only. Right? So how will Krishna ensure that he gives us remembrance? Is by sitting as a Paramatma in our heart and understanding our sincerity. Right? So, and what are the subcomponents of sincerity? Or in other words, let's say if sincerity is the finished product, what are the raw materials of sincerity? Correct. Obedience. So, Madan Sundar Prabhuji, yes, Madan Sundar Prabhuji lot of times says this DOS formula, right? Discipline, obedience, and submissiveness. So when you are disciplined, when you are obedient, and when you are submissive, these are actions. That these actions as raw material will make this finished product of making you sincere. And when you are becoming sincere in your heart, then Krishna will ensure that you remember, he will give you remembrance and remembrance during dangerous time. And if you see, what is the most biggest crisis that we may have to face in this life?
Yeah.
Exactly. So everyone has to face death, and at that time of death, at that time of difficult or dangerous situation, if throughout our life we have been sincere, then Krishna will ensure that he will give the remembrance, that to remember him, and also to follow the etiquette of even before presenting, glorify him. And if we are able to do that, then our life will be successful. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Just very quickly to recap what we discussed. So we started with the subtleness of Brahmastra, right? And in today's world, the knowledge of these subtle energies going beyond earth, water, air, fire is not there. Even for ether, not much education is available. What to speak about all the finer elements, right? So that is what, when we don't understand, that there is an existence of soul, then all the other Abrahamic religions, etc., they consider body as whole and whole, and that makes it a godless civilization, because there is no understanding of the soul, there is no understanding of reincarnation, there is no understanding of what we should do to get out of this circle of birth and death. And because of lack of that understanding, there is this godless civilization comes into picture, right? And then we discuss about that Charvaka Muni, etc. And Prabhupada has so mercifully given all these instruction details, which we should know, which will make our belief and our faith in Krishna firm and very firm. All these explanations about how we are not the body but the soul, how the soul is taken to the body of the next or womb of the mother, etc. And then we discussed about that even if somebody does demigod worship, he gets some siddhi or some immediate material benefits, but eventually we know that all places are places of miseries. That once your uh, pious activities, the karmic account is over, you again fall down back. And even in the higher planetary systems, it's nothing but gold chain. You are in chain, but you are in gold chains, right? So yeah. And then further, what we discussed about is then we came to this verse about what is, whenever we present anything before the Lord, we have to follow the etiquette, the Vedic etiquette of praying or glorifying the Lord, and then present what we want to present, right? So we took the example with, we saw with various examples from our Shastras like Gajendra, Kunti, Prahlad, Arjun, and then we, in our day-to-day life also, how we follow that, right? Whenever we are presenting anything to the Lord, like before Prupa offering, before Aarti, before speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, we are always following that etiquette so that we are practicing that. And then we learned certain lessons from the act of Arjun, how he prayed to the Lord and what questions he asked, right? So we learned certain lessons from it, that we should not be, we should always try to remember the Lord at the time of difficulty. And we discussed how can be made possible practically, right? That we don't have it in our hand, right? To remember the Lord in difficult situation, it is going to be given by Krishna and His mercy. But how will Krishna say that or check whether he's eligible to remember me during time of crisis? That is through sincerity. And sincerity, how we can get, is following the DOS formula, right? And if we practice and continue this DOS throughout our life, that will really strengthen that sincerity. And when you are really sincere, Krishna as Paramatma in your heart will be able to see that you are sincere. And at the time of difficulty or dangerous situation and the ultimate crisis that we all have to face, that is death, he will make us remember him. Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki So we can take one or two questions if you want, or comments. Yes, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। प्रभु आप लेक्चर में बोल रहे थे चारवाक मुनि के बारे में। तो व्हेन अ पर्सन इज एथिस्ट, तो हाउ कैन वी गिव अ टाइटल ऑफ मुनि टू
Okay, that's a good point. So see, what I can so question is clear, right? Yeah. So what I can think of is even in today's world, Prabhuji, you will see there is lot of different Babajis there, who have their own philosophy. I am God, you are God. We are all one with God, or God is also, you can also become God. That kind of philosophy. But they are still somewhere somebody will call them Babaji, right? Ideally, that title is not correct. Similarly, maybe this is how I see. Even though he was an atheist, he had his own philosophy, and there were certain sect of people who may be following him and would have given him the title of Muni. This is my humble understanding. But if anybody wants to add something, why Charvaka Muni is called Muni, even though he had this atheist philosophy, and Mataji wants to add.
Prabhuji, it is that, people, maybe he was not spiritually that enlightened, but materially he was pretty much scholarly. And, scholarly people could be called Muni even if they are not actually Vaishnavas or
Okay.
devotees,
Yeah.
because he's scholar, maybe not in a spiritual way, but better than the common people and scholar.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, I'm not sure, but I think I read somewhere Muni is who keeps mourn silent. So from mourn it becomes Muni. So silent means he's not like 24/7 silent, meaning that he will speak only when he wants to speak or only when it makes sense. So in that sense, he can speak about anything. Like Mataji said, he can be materially very sound in his theory and philosophy, but may not be that spiritually enlightened. So
Correct. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other comment, question? Right. Then
So, Prabhuji, Muni, na, regarding. So, Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, one who philosophically speculates. So, this is kind of speculation which is
that's a good
presenting.
point.
So, that is what.
So this is a
That's why.
speculators. Yes.
So, he fits into that Muni criteria or category.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for adding. All right. Then we'll stop. Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada.